Welcome back to Masculine Scrapping. Today we're going to work on the 9/11 memorial and the fountains. After we were in the museum, we had opportunity to come out and see the fountains on the outside. Again, a very somber space, beautiful, well designed, but very somber. Would encourage you to go and check this out. Just explain some of the pictures here. This here is one of the two fountains. You can see here a little bit, there are around the edge a plaque of all the names of people, and there's a close-up of one of the plaques. And while we were there, I saw these sailors there, and I thought, what a great opportunity. So I took a bunch of photos actually, and I really like this one. So that's why you're seeing this outline here. This wall used to be artwork that was in the middle of the two buildings and kind of got crushed, but that's the part that they rescued and is still part of the grounds. This picture here is of the survivor tree. So this is a tree that was on site that actually survived and kept growing, and they call that the survivor tree. And so I wanted part of the picture background to be this tree. All the rest of these elements were designed in Cricut Design Studio and cut out on my Cricut Maker. Now you can see I only have half a tree, and sometimes when something is multi-dimensional, it's a little hard to cut it in half on Cricut Design Studio, so I just went ahead and printed the whole thing. So here it is, and if I push this all over, you can see I cut the whole tree. I taped these two pieces of paper together, put the tree down, and then used my Fiskars cutter to cut it in half. So I still have this part of the tree. I'm actually going to put it to the side, but I'm going to hold on to it because it might be handy in some other project, but we'll go back to focusing on this. So let's work on this one. I've already put those on. When I'm cutting small little pieces like that, I don't want to wait to put them on later. One, I have to put them down very carefully, and it's time consuming, but also I'm just afraid that in the process of moving from that stage of cutting them out to this stage of filming, putting it together, that they'll get lost. And so I just normally do those in the moment. It's so much easier to take one thing off the cutting mat at a time and make sure it gets placed in the correct spot. The outline feature is one of the ways that I make these background mats so easily, is that it just does it for you. You say, here's the images I want you to create outline for, and it puts them in place. And it's part of what I really enjoy about the Cricut line of tools. Perfect for scrapbooking. I know a lot of people use it for a lot of other stuff. You know, I was thinking about maybe I should put a border on this side. I'm not sure about that yet, so let's put that down and we'll focus on this one. I am going to go ahead and put this in place. I'm going to use a glue pen to get that part on. Now you'll see something interesting here. I made a mistake. I cut the back part of this graphic out from the same color as the matting. I just didn't realize I was doing that, so you wouldn't have been able to see that part. So I took a black marker and just ran it along the edge, and it created this line, which now helps that part to stand out. I do think I'm going to put that tree right up on the edge over here. I'm not going to do that because that looks weird. I'm just going to put it all the way on the edge there. So we'll get this in place first, and then we'll get the photos on. When you're doing your designing in Cricut Design Studio, when I'm doing a project where it goes right to the edge like that, you have to think about this because it can only cut 11.5 wide, and of course the paper is 12. So you have to just basically plan not to use this side so that you can use that side of the element. Okay, so that's in place, and now we'll get our two pictures, and you can see I'm going to overlap them with the graphic. So I need to put this one down first because I've got that corner to measure the placement with. If I did the other one first, they may not line up real nice. So I get this one in place, overlapping it with the background, and then we'll do this one. This one might be a little difficult because I have like 4 or 5 layers of that there, and I'm just a little worried that it's not gonna wanna lay real flat. It's working. Okay, I like that. Well, now I need to decide, do I want something to put on this side, or do I want to leave it plain? I think I'm going to leave it plain because I've got this busy tree right on the edge here. If I put something else there, I think it would distract from that tree graphic. So I'm going to leave it alone. Normally I make that decision before I get to this stage, so I have all the supplies in place. But I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do there, and I think that that is the correct decision. Get that in place, and then push down. There we go. All right, the 9/11 Memorial, the fountains outside of the Freedom Tower complex, the One World Trade Center. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a great time. If you go to New York, I encourage you to check out this memorial. Important thing to do. Thanks for being with us today, and I would love to see your projects.